Bamboo mat book cover for my recipes. Bamboo is an extremely versatile and sustainable material, and very easy to work with for your craft projects. Today, we will be making a bamboo mat book cover for my recipes, as I found that this book was used so often and looked very worn. Here are the step-by-step instructions for how to make a bamboo mat book cover, in a few easy simple steps. Materials that you will need: cookbook or any book that you want to cover. Bamboo placemat, they did all the hard work for you already. Scissors. Craft glue or hot glue. Patterns to glue onto the cover, anything fun. Markers for drawing on the mat. Paintbrush to apply the glue and if you want to do some painting. Paints and the markers. Small bowl of water to paint onto the mat to soften the bamboo before you glue it on. How to cover the book. First, the cover needs to fit around the whole book, so that it can be glued into the inside edge of the book. Measure the cover and mark where it needs to be cut. My bamboo cover fitted almost perfectly, and didn't need to be trimmed at all. Fit the bamboo cover to the book to make sure that everything has been measured, and trimmed properly with some double-sided tape. Glue the cover to the book and allow it to dry, about 2 hours should do, but then of course it depends on your area. I like to leave the book in the sun to dry so that I can also do some dry painting onto the bamboo mat while it's curing in the sun. I used copper and gold acrylic paints, just to give it some effect, and also made sure I painted the outer whites of the book for extra curb appeal. While the book is drying, get your plan of patterns ready and play around with the layout. This is really the fun part, and while you are waiting you can work on all the embellishments that you have available which will look good on the outer cover. When the cover is nicely glued and dried, then you can set up your final patterns, and glue them in place with a small amount of craft glue, in case you want to move them around at a later stage. I also use this time to fill in any big gaps on the bamboo mat which look uneven or out of place. Using any basic paint technique on bamboo is such a pleasure, as the bamboo material is so easy to work with and absorbs the colors to make them look rich and deep. Going over the pictures with markers and acrylic works best for me. I did some drawings of chilies and wrote the word Asia in capitals. Anything at this point is where you need to spend the most time on. Once you have glued everything in place, and drawn on the mat, it's pretty much done. Also, going over all the artwork and patterns once more with another layer of craft glue will ensure that it's almost waterproof, and has some resistance to oil and grease marks. Let everything dry overnight, as once you have applied your final patterns, you will want it to be strong and in place for a long time. Voila, the next morning, it's done, and you can now sit back and admire your handiwork for years to come. For more fun DIY projects, follow us at www.thehappyblogging.com.